Another update. Here's an update. Told you I'd update. Oh my goodness. Our new district manager has decided that we're going to start doing things again the way that we were doing them 7 years ago. And that was bullshit. I'm not doing it. It was bullshit and I'm not doing it. I told my coach, the coach that's over us, I was like, no, we're not doing this shit. Because, okay, what started it all was first this thing came down that said, oh, you're not supposed to take more than 30 minutes to top stock one aisle. And I laughed. And they're like, what's so funny? I'm like, have you gone down some of these aisles and top stocked? Have you? Because there are quite a few aisles in the store where you're lucky to get through 8 feet in 30 minutes, which I just proved just now. I'm one of the quicker ones. And the aisle that they gave me, I had 4 assigned to me. I got through the first one, and that was it. Because everything it told me to pull down, the sales floor count was wrong. The shelf cap was wrong. There were things in its place that didn't belong, that I had to move, that I had to make room for. Almost everything I put my hands on had to be fixed. And I'm like, let me see you do it in a half an hour. And it be done right, first of all. I could have done it in a half hour. I could have fucking fibbed my way through the whole fucking thing, but that's not what I do, right? I do it right. And when I'm here, I do as much as I can, as fast as I can, that day. And I don't go for that crap, right? Oh, it shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. Let me see you do it in 30 minutes. Okay? And they want all areas, when we're doing viz pick, they want all areas done viz picking by 11:30. We start at 9. Okay? There are days when we don't have enough people to even viz pick by 2, have everything done by 2 if we're lucky. There are days, that they don't schedule enough people and we're just like scrambling. Sometimes we get done by like 12:30 or 1, but there's no way we'd ever be done by 11:30. That's just not possible. Not with as many people as we have. It's just not possible. And I'm like, and I laughed at that. And I was like, y'all are on better drugs than I can get. Let me tell you. Because that shit ain't gonna fly. And I recognized the pattern. I recognized it because it's the same pattern that we did 7 years ago. And I said the same thing then that I'm saying now. I told my coach, I said, look, when I'm here, I do as much as I can, as fast as I can. I said, I don't slack off unless I'm sick. It takes me a little bit longer if I'm not feeling that great, whatever. I said, but I'm not lazy and I don't goof off. Okay? And that's how they act. They act like they think we're being lazy and goofing off. And we all work really hard. Everyone on our team works really fucking hard. Okay? Some people are just slower than others. We're all over 50, dude. Some of us have problems, health problems, right? We move as fast as we can. We do as much as we can. But I told my coach, he came in, I was picking the cosmetics room, and he came in and he started asking me questions about stuff. And I said, and he was telling me what they were saying, and I looked at him, I said, I'm going to tell you something right now. I said, I don't care. I don't care that they think it's supposed to take, 30 minutes to top stock an aisle. I don't care that they think it shouldn't take more than 8 to 11 minutes to pick a section of the steel. I don't care. Okay? That's not my concern. It takes as long as it takes. I said, when I'm here, I work as much as I can, as fast as I can. It takes as long as it takes. You're not going to micromanage me. I'm not going to do it. Because every person that comes at me and says, how much longer? Aren't you done yet? How much longer? You're adding another 10 minutes to my time. You just automatically added 10 minutes to my time. You know why? Because my brain says, whoa, wait a minute. Someone's talking to me, interrupting me. Now, I'll be in a flow and I'll be working and somebody will stop me and interrupt me. And so my brain says, instead of going pause, my brain goes, delete. And then I have to pay attention to this person who came to do nothing more than ask me, how much longer? How much longer? Bitch, we'll now add 10 more minutes to it because after you walk away, I'm going to have to restart my brain all over again. And that means going through everything I've already done in my mind and trying to get back in that flow. You've interrupted a process. You stuck a stick in my spokes, basically what you did when you came up to badger me about how long it was taking. Okay? So then here's and I knew this was coming from the other day when they started bringing up how much time it should take you to do this and how much time it should take you to do that. And I knew this was coming, and today it got dropped on me. They said, oh, now they're putting times. You have to write what time you started the cart and what time you finished the cart. And it shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes or whatever, however long to finish a cart. And I'm like, you know what? And I told my coach, I said, I am not going to be dictated to by people who don't fucking do my job. They're going to come and tell me, oh, it should only take you this long to do your job. Bitch, have you done my job? Because I'd like to see you try. I'd like to see you try and do it well. Go for it. Show me, oh, great one. Because that's how it works. If you can show me that you can go out there and you can do that shit in 30 minutes and it's done right and it's done well, show me how you're doing it, that you're just so fast. And don't do like that last bitch did, okay? Because the last time we did this, our coach was this goofy chick. She ended up getting fired for stealing, of all things. But she had us all in the back room, and she was trying to explain to us how we were doing this. And she's like, oh, it shouldn't take you more than 11 minutes or 15 minutes or something to cap an entire area, an entire bin. And I was like, no, that's not right. I said, because we're always having to fix stuff. We're having to move things. I said, that's not right. And she goes, watch, I'll show you. And she took my tells on from me and she started scanning an area. And I just stood there and I watched her. We all just stood there and watched her. And then she's like, see, it only took me 11 minutes. And I said, yeah. I said, that's great, sweetie. I said, except we've already done that section. That's why it only took you 11 minutes, because that section's already been done. I said, we didn't do them down there. If you want to go down there and get started on that, you can do that and show me how you can do it in 11 minutes. We haven't done them down there yet. Go for it. big thing. I was just, and everybody was laughing. I said, because as soon as I said, well, that's great, but that's already been done. Why don't you go down there and work in ones that we ain't done yet? Work them down there that we ain't done yet. Because this I'd like to see. I'd pay to see that. And everybody's laughing. Well, then she got pissed. And I ended up paying for it. I ended up paying for it in a big way. But that's all right. That's perfectly fine. She retaliated. I'm not going to talk about that today, because that's a story for another time. I got to eat this before it's just gross. But anyway, do your best. Try not to die. Thanks for coming by.